Well, greetings to you all, my friends, wherever you may be viewing from, and a very happy American Independence Day or 4th of July to you. Welcome to this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and we're going to try to get in some gold today. It is a rather stormy, tumultuous day on the bayou, and we got more coming. You can hear the thunder rolling in the background, but it's nice and cool, so I'll take that. You may see we've got our American flag flying upside down today. That is not a sign of disrespect. That is, according to flag code, the symbol for distress. And forts would fly the flags upside down when, according to flag code, when they were at potential for risk of life, property, or attacks. So, considering the state of our country right now and the way most Americans are under attack from almost every aspect, whether it be by your government, by the fake media, by Hollywood, by the schools that teach your kids, it's an assault across the board that no society could handle. And considering we're only celebrating our 247th birthday at this point, we're still infants as far as a society goes compared to the longevity of some of the empires that existed of these primitives way before us. And we're going to be lucky if we make it to 250 at the rate we're going. So that's why we have to show some sign that this is not just another day on another 4th of July, as we've enjoyed throughout the previous 247 years of this republic. So that being said, I do have my other flags flying down the street here. Makes for a nice little display, and they are all flying in proper form. So again, not a show of disrespect, a show of distress and urgency that we have to address in this country. So that being said, we're going to see if we can beat the storm a little bit. Oh, there goes my camera, and there goes the hat. So, all right. So let's see if we can get around back out of the wind. Although the direction it's coming, it's going to be whipping right in the gold station. So, and let's turn to the new gold epicenter of South Louisiana. Well, literally before I could walk to the back of the house, the rain hit again. So we're going to see how long this lasts. It's kind of putting a damper on my grilling, though. I was going to do the 4th of July barbecue platter. Had my baby back ribs, pork chop, and chicken thighs and legs to barbecue, plus some special bacon on a stick I'd never seen before at the store. But hopefully it'll clear out by the afternoon. If not sooner, I'm not going to be able to get a video in otherwise. Takes me back to Hurricane Ida. All right, well, this being our third 4th of July on the channel, we always like to start out with a bang and a little something special on the side. You gotta love those black cats, and I really love that green smoke. Very nice. Gives a good effect, and it lasts a long time. I've used these in pumpkins on 4th of July, on Halloween. It actually kind of scorched the top of my table more than I expected there. Man, I still have a burn on my heel from the smoke bomb last year that blew up on me, and through the sulfur pellet at my heel, and it left a scar. Damn, well, that thing was supposed to smoke, and it just blew up and blew fire all over me, so that was not a good smoke bomb. So, actually, I was trying to do it where I got that in a slow motion, and I've never used the slow motion before on this. Okay, that actually turned out pretty good. I was surprised. I'm going to try a couple more of those. But yes, let us turn to the gold epicenter of South Louisiana here, where X marks the spot, and we have a British invasion for Independence Day. But actually, we're just showing that there's no hard feelings, because we've got us some Scottish gold from the UK, from our good friend SPIRE Prospecting, Matthew Lopez, and the barbecue man. He's got his barbecue, cooking up barbecue over there across the pond, and he had some of this for sale. He had contacted me, so I was like, yeah, man, I would. He'd sent me, if y'all would remember, we did a couple of his bags that he sent me, just because he's an awesome guy. And so yeah, so I bought some of this. We'll see. I'm not even going to tell you how much is in here. It'll be a little surprise at the end. And he'd also included these very beautiful. We have another. I still have one of his labels left. We've got one on the board, but it is not. It's not out here today because it is. Ooh, actually, we got a little smoke bomb on the edge, but not on the sticker. But yeah, because of the rain, we've got a break in it right now. It started raining right when I started recording that, but it stopped again. But he also sent me these beautiful polished garnets. There's the red garnets. And then these like plum colored, very beautiful garnets. I have not seen those. And then he sent me the bag of some beautiful amethyst, polished amethyst. And some of you guys have already gotten, because two of my, actually, it's kind of cool, because two of the winners on the last giveaway were Kane out in Australia and A&M up in Nova Scotia. So we have... They have, in their display vials, they've got Scottish gems that were sent to America, made up in vials, and then sent back across the ocean to Australia and up north to Nova Scotia. So I just think that's cool that it's globally being spread around here. That's what's awesome about YouTube. It could be people watching this right now from all around the world, and you know, it's just fascinating to me that we have that kind of reach on from the backyard down here in South Louisiana, looking for gold in the rain sometimes. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Really appreciate it. But yes, we have the some UK Paydirt, SPIRE Prospecting, and he does sell this whenever he has. He had just told me he had gone out to Scotland to get a batch of gold. So working his streams. So let's get set up here and we'll check this out. All right, let's just tear into this here and see what goodies we may have. Ooh, I'm seeing some cool stuff right from the start. So let's break out a second pan. Everything's wet. Oh, very cool. Check that out. That is some... Oh, and there's a coin. Jonathan's, our 21st year, 525 West Manchester, Inglewood, California, 90310. Real News Report. And is it a coin? United States Bicentennial. 1776, 1976. I've never seen that. I'm sorry. I hope y'all saw that. I was sitting there reading it without even looking at the screen. How cool is that? I guess that is not a actual currency. It's just a commemorative coin, but very cool. I've never seen that. Thank you so much, Matthew. And then, oh, look at that. There's some, looks like some quartz or some kind of gem and stone there. That's why it's good to have our new little Montana pans there for throwing in knickknacks. And that we've got some awesome, look at that crystal overlapping on that. That is just Damn right, I've already got my nails dirty from rooting around. And man, it is loathsome. Look at that. That looks like a diamond. That sure looks like one of those as pretty as one of those Herkimeres, but a lot bigger. But is that just a super clear piece of quartz? I mean, that looks just like a piece of broken glass. But it's got the facets and stuff in it. That is really, really nice. And there's some, looks like some amethyst, some more. There's some more quartz. Looks like some opal there. Look at that opal. That is beautiful. If I turn my light on the camera any, but and then that piece of quartz there is like a apricot color or a pink color, and some awesome amethyst. So very nice. There's some more shards of quartz. There's some more of those. That's the bigger garnets. That looks like something. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe we'll find out when we get it wet. So yeah, and then there's some of those. Oh, there's some. Oh, I see gold. Look at that gold showing up in there. That's is the camera picking that up? Look at that gold in the bottom there. Yeehaw! Along with the peridot, polished peridot, more of the two different colors of the garnets, and then yeah, look at those beautiful flakes of gold. Some Scottish gold there, my friends. Beautiful stuff. All right. Well, and we got some that's already fallen into the smaller stuff that's in the pan there. So, all right. Well, let's dump out a little more of this and see. I'll pick through it once we go through the bulk here and see a couple of more different types of quartz. I guess we can zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm showing. More shards. Very cool. More of the amethyst. And then these green, I'm not sure if that's a jade. Could be an emerald. And then we've got some, looks like some, I don't know, some of those may be fossil in there. And some very interesting looking rocks. It's like more opal or quartz there. More quartz shards. Lots of that really nice quartz. That's beautiful. Look at that, nice. And then more of that green rock. A bunch more of the and there's more gold. Oh, look at that piece there. That is beautiful. That's a nice chunk. Right out of a Scottish stream. That's just awesome. This is going to be some fun. And what are you doing? Guess who I got out here tied up. I'm very lucky today because I almost lost him this morning. He slipped out of his collar and took out the back, and by the time I ran around behind him, he was already across the next street where I didn't even see him. So I got in the car and started driving around looking for him. Made the block a couple of times and came back to the house to see if he was back here. He wasn't. So I went back out and drove around, and I'm driving around with the window down. I asked about 4 or 5 people that were out if they had seen him. And one guy said he's going to put it on the neighborhood neighborhood thing, right? Just to be on the lookout for a beagle colored Chihuahua running around named Gizmo. And I'm driving around, and after about a couple more blocks over, going another, the opposite direction of the house, I look in the rearview mirror and I see him running up the street behind the van when he heard me yelling, and I stop and he runs up and jumps in because that's his favorite thing to do. Is I'm sitting here pulling these out and throwing them in the pan while I'm talking, dumbass. But yeah, that's his favorite thing to do is ride in the car. I jingle those keys and he's tearing at the door, runs out there and stands there looking at the door. So he learned that very quickly about going in the car. But so yeah, I was just I thought he was gone because that's how he came to me. Just showed up. Obviously couldn't remember his way home. So I'm relieved. But I do have a sad note that I did lose one of my babies on Saturday. The little runt that I was trying to bottle feed just did not make it. I think it really did have a birth defect, cause his little muzzle was just so flat. Trying to bottle feed him, he would I had to keep. I was always fighting. I had my tissue paper there so it absorbed what little drop would get it near his nose, because it was right at his nose. It was like almost like a cleft palate, you know. And you cannot force feed them because they'll end up, aspirating it, breathing in the milk down the trachea and in their lungs, and then give them pneumonia or make other problems. So yeah, it was. I tried as best. I'd sit there and hold him on her next to her nipple, like basically just propping his little head up, holding it, or hers. I don't know if it was a male or female, but trying to hold it in place to get it to latch on, and it never would. It hardly got a few drops of milk all the time. I tried to bottle feed it, and so Angel's been getting the milk though, because it's good for the nursing mothers to have that added on their diet. So but she doesn't want it in the bowl, because the first time I gave it to her, it was out of the bottle and he didn't finish it when he wouldn't eat it. So now I have to sit there and feed this big cat out with the with the baby bottle to give her milk, her tablespoon of milk every twice a day that I give it to her. So all right, well, I'm going to pick through this, but yeah, I was really sad to. I mean, you can do things like put the food tube down their throat if you take them up there and let the vet have there are options for that, but for a newborn like that, I mean, you kind of just have to let nature take its course. I think it's no point trying to help it survive against itself to live a life that it's So I did what I could to try to help it along, but that was kind of it. So, but we do have 4 healthy little babies, and like I said, their mama's doing good, and they are too. So. And my little boy is home where he's supposed to be. So, all right, we're gonna roll, and the sun's back out. So hopefully the storms will bypass us, and I can crank up the grill and get a little grilling going. All right, let's just take a look at our gems we picked out here. There's something there that's got looks like some little holes in it, maybe volcanic. It's very light. But yeah, very cool. A nice variety of garnets. Like I said, the greens, if that's emerald or jade, I'm not sure. A very cool coin. These little round, I guess these are garnets here. They're very round, almost like BBs. Very cool. Nice little pile there. So let's shift to our, get greenie out here. I did return my crappy stuff and get my great value rinse aid, so I will not be fighting bubbles today, and I should not be having floating gold. That was crazy, that fine stuff from Gold Thumb Prospecting kept lifting up and floating on me so much. But some very cool rocks in there too. Look, that one's actually got something overlaid on top of it. I guess we get back out of there. guess I can't remember better than that. But very cool. Like some flint there. Yeah, I was watching the top horror stories of the day. Did y'all see that they found they had done the evacuation of the White House and shut down the streets for hazmat last week, and now they've discovered it was cocaine that they found. Just so happens to be the same time Hunter was there, yes, and but they were saying, oh, but they also had that, the big party that he was at from last week there, and could have been for many of those people, because they're all a bunch of fucking drugged up perverts. They had one guy saying how once he got in kind of a look behind the veil, and politicians that he had known since he was young, and he's known for something, but I don't know him. I just was listening to the story, but saying how they invited him to come over to the house. They were going to have a little sexy party, and he realized they were talking about an orgy. They wanted him to come, with 50 and 60-year-old politicians, and but he was just saying that's how decadent and just perverted these cretins are. And then you saw just the week before, Biden was there with his cretins at with the sex banner across over the American flags and the lawn of the White House, and a man with fake tits flashing them, and on the grounds there for the child-friendly event they were doing. Man, it's just that's why my flag is flying upside down in the front yard, because the amount of just disgusting corruption on every level is just, it's mind-boggling. It's normal people can't digest it and don't know even half of it. And then you got all the people that are bashing the 4th of July. Actually, my friend over at the Liberal Hive Mind does an excellent job of pointing this kind of bullshit out. And here's one of the pieces of shit that I'm exactly talking about.
Here's Bree Newsom Bass. I'm sorry, but anyone happily waving American flags right now is either a gleeful white supremacist or gleefully uninformed. The irony. Gleefully uninformed, you say. I don't know, from my perspective, the people who are claiming that the American flag is a flag of white supremacy seem to be the ones who are gleefully uninformed. That same flag that literally fought a war. People sacrificed their lives to free black Americans. The same country that, how long's it been? 15 years. Holy moly. 15 years ago, elected a black American as president of the United States 2 times. Mostly white people, by the way, voting him in. If you make the argument that that's a racist nation or a white supremacist nation, you're on drugs.
Happy 4th of July, American Independence Day. It's just, and then you got the WNBA scumbags that are, the Brittany Griners that are still, bashing America after they brought back that piece of shit at the cost of, telling how many thousand lives are going to be lost from the Merchant of Death. Afghanistan is the largest supplier of weapons now because Biden left billions of dollars worth of the top military equipment over there and made them cash arms dealers, a bit highest in the world. It's just beyond. But just look at that beautiful UK gold. Matthew Lopez, my friend, that is just awesome. There's that piece we saw earlier. But just look at those chunks, man. That is nice. So let's get that sucked up there. Yeah, not much chance of that stuff lifting up and floating to begin with. That was never going to be an issue with this stuff. I get that, at least get that rock out of there. And then I got a bunch of little garnets to pick through on this to get out still, which is nice when you're doing these garnets with the pan. They hold with the gold. So I'm gonna go through and clean those out, and then we'll get back with the next size. All right, that was an awesome start to the. Oh, well, I guess I put in more than a. Oh, I never did my magnet test on this. I didn't see a lot of black sand held at the bottom. We'll find out. We'll find out as we go. There is a lot of organics, and yeah, it's pretty. That's some pretty dirty water there. I should have put a little more than I intended to on this too. So has anybody gone to see Indiana Jones 5? That's, if you have not, and you're an old, and you didn't like Crystal Skull, if you like the originals, then you'll find it probably pretty disgusting. I watched it. I watched it at home. I wasn't gonna go down there and support that trash, but yeah, man, they've just. Kathleen Kennedy's basically destroyed every Lucas franchise now completely, and it's bad. And actually, the first part of it is kind of reminiscent of the old Indiana Jones, movies, but they de-age him with that technology, and he still has the rough voice now of an 80-year-old man. And then they show him in his boxer shorts in his drabby apartment as a pretty much beaten down 80-year-old man until his goddaughter shows up, and of course it's her movie. He's just helping her along, so it's just, and again they've got another just homely Phoebe Waller something. She was in some other show that I don't know if it was called Fleabag or her name was Fleabag, but the reviewers that I was watching, they kept talking about Fleabag, and I thought they were calling her Fleabag, like insulting her because she was dog ugly, but I think it has something to do with another show that she was in, but that's Fleabag is Phoebe Waller, and yeah, she's of course, with the part where they have her hanging off of an open bomb port. The bomb bay doors on a plane flying, and a Nazi's hanging onto her legs, and she's hanging on to the lip of the edge of the bomb bay doors, and Indy has to kill him and get him off of her, and then pull her up, and then she ends up having to still hanging there, shoot the other bad guy, and it just. A 100-pound woman had a 200-pound Nazi hanging off her legs, and she's hanging on by her fingers for like a minute. It's just there's so much of it that's just stupid, where you're going, God, that's stupid. And they were never like that. So, and again, they have to destroy every, whether it was Luke Skywalker having him drink blue tit milk from those whatever those gross things were on the island as the broken, defeated Jedi in reclusion, and Indiana Jones is the defeated and old. They kill off his son in Vietnam, so he's lost his son. He's just got married. Everything they can do to have him living in this drab little apartment. It's just disgusting. No respect for the character at all, and yeah, it's pretty bad. That's why it's only made like $50 million, if that. It's this movie's going to lose over $250 million for the studio because they put out woke trash, and they've rewritten the end of it. Like they were going to end it with her because it goes back in time. It's time travel, just all the stupid shit that when you watched Indiana Jones movies, you wanted to see action adventure, and then they'd have that kind of mystical aspect that they never really defined. And he didn't believe in supernatural, but he admits there's things that he's seen that it can't just be explained. But and then the Crystal Skull had the aliens, and now this with the time travel. It's just, but yeah, it's again, Kathleen Kennedy has just destroyed Star Wars, Lucasfilm, properties across the board. And it was hilarious. They had the I was watching the clip on the premiere for it, and they had Spielberg there, and I think John Williams, who wrote the music for Star Wars, has always been for Lucasfilms, and Steven Spielberg, and announces thanking the ones that have been George Lucas is thanking those that have been instrumental for all 50 years in Lucasfilm, and Kathleen Kennedy's been there since the first Lucasfilm movies. She just didn't have any major influence in anything to ruin it like she has now in the last 5-6 years, 10 years now, I guess. But yeah, he acknowledges he acknowledges Steven Spielberg, and I forget it was, and John Williams, and she's thinking that he's about to call her name, and she's standing on stage, and when he doesn't call her name, she's standing at her husband, and she's just looking dumbfounded, and he's like taking her by the arm, going, "Okay, that's it, let's go, we'll get off the stage," and she doesn't want to leave, and oh, it was so cringe and pathetic, and it was so cool to see her just getting destroyed, her arrogant, no talent ass. So that's but I think they're hopefully she's going to be fired. They're dumping so many but I mean, just the fact they've lost, Flash has lost, is going to eat $200 million on the how they just keep putting out trash that loses hundreds of millions of dollars per movie. And now they're they're saying the next Star Wars is going to be another Rey film, the Mary Sue that everybody hates, that that became the Palpatine Skywalker, clone, whatever. They're all movies that I barely watched the first one time and couldn't tell you anything about any of them because I never watched them again, and they were so forgettable and nothing to them. But yeah. I watched it, and yeah. A movie that is good that I really liked, that would be worth watching, I was very surprised, is Hypnotic with Ben Affleck, and that surprised me. That's really a pretty good movie, and I like Ben, so check that out. I also like that. Look at that, awesome Scottish gold. Yeah. Captain, I'm giving her all she's got. And one of my favorite Scotsmen is the Critical Drinker. He does reviews, movie and entertainment stuff, and has the Drinker's Bar, and but yeah, he's a I can't think of his name now. He's a journalist. He's written a couple of books. He's got a new one coming out now, but he's a super smart guy, very intuitive, and actually would be an awesome filmmaker, I believe, just from what he would do with the movies that he talks about, as that they keep destroying these properties. But yeah, he's my favorite Scotsman. So if you're not familiar with the Critical Drinker, that's all I've got for now. Go away now. That's how he always says this. That's all I've got for today. Go away now. Yeah, all right. Well, that was awesome. Let's just yep, I'm gonna work through this other, and we'll be back. All right, well, we had the clouds move back in, so the temperature dropped and back down to what was as nice as it was when I started this. As soon as I came back here and the rain ended, the sun came out and just steamed the hell out of everything. But now there's some light showers coming down on me, and it's quite cool and refreshing. Just have to block it off the camera. So it looks like these are really heavy. This could be. Last time he had it was garnet sands in one of the bags. This just doesn't. It's hard for me to tell if it looks red enough to be a garnet sand or not. It does kind of tend to look like it though, especially in the camera. If I can get it to, once my fingers get wet, it doesn't want to. There we go. But yeah, I said just mainly from the density and heaviness of it is what just makes it seem like it is to me doing it. So I think that's red enough to be a garnet sand, especially like I said, since I had that from him before in one of his other Paydirts. But like I said, a little UK American camaraderie there for Independence Day, just showing there's no hard feelings. we're all good here. What's left of the UK, that poor country, that nation's yeah, being destroyed from within as well. God forbid the French, once their city's in the process of falling right now. It'd be like here, a bunch of those scumbags will flee to the UK and carry on the same violence and crime and destruction that we're seeing going on there now. And here, there's already been, I think, what, 100 people shot between Chicago and Baltimore on the since the long start of the, just on the actual weekend part of the 4th of July weekend, not even the last 2 days of the actual holiday. 50 shot, 12 dead, 38 shot, 2 dead, 23 shot, 4 dead. News doesn't cover it because it's just blacks killing blacks, and that is not news to any of them because that's not the narrative they want to talk. You need a white cop shooting somebody, or a white a white guy saving a bunch of people on the subway from some criminal animal who's black, and then you got a story. But nah, more people being killed than in countries that are at war right now, in American libtard cities. And only, again, they keep the teens, it's all the teens that are just, no, it's not teens, it's black thugs. There are no, if you were a teen these days in America, you'd just be offended all the time, because anytime there's a black criminal gang, which is a bunch of, young thugs to be, according to the news, they're all young scholars, but yeah. But they do not say, a mob of, blacks, kids took over, destroyed another part of Chicago, took over another part, killed so-and-so. No, it's always just generic teens doing this. Young people. It's the young people these days. No, it's not. But that carries the narrative because they can't tell the truth. It ruined the narrative of the two most protected classes in America. that's and let's see, how many mass shootings did we have in the last 8 months with non-binary, transgender, gay? Yeah, no, those all fall off the news too. But Trump is the biggest threat to this country. And white supremacy. White supremacy. Just look at that gold. Holy moly. Yeah, we do have a little black sand hanging in the bottom there. And yeah, and y'all make no mistake that normal, regular Americans, black Americans, that they are as appalled and offended, and actually more so, because it reflects on them, that in their eyes, just like it would on anyone's eyes. If you're, every time we see a conservative wacko that gets out of hand, it's going to be, that's going to be plastered on all of us. But the extent and the level of death and violence in the black community that is just ignored, and they say, well, where are these big, high-ranking black, rich black actors and athletes and all the, calling any of this stuff out? But they're going to be out there anytime a thug is killed by a cop trying to take his gun, they'll burn down a city for that. But you can kill literally thousands of people, blacks killing thousands of other blacks in black cities, and it's just another weekend in Chicago or Baltimore or Baton Rouge. My neighbor went to Baton Rouge today with her friends and her kids, and I was like, fuck, that's the last shithole in Louisiana you want to go with your family. It is depending on what goes on up north, it tends to be the #1 murder capital of the country as well, behind either Chicago or Detroit or Baltimore or whichever other shithole city holds the ranking for that month. But yeah, it is horrible in Baton Rouge. And New Orleans too, but Baton Rouge is worse than New Orleans most of the time. We have got some nice fine gold hanging at the end of this one too. We had those beautiful chunks. We had those nice big pieces. And yeah, you can see that black. I think that's some... I'm betting that's hematite mostly up there hanging the way it is with that gold. So it's going to take me a minute to get that rinsed down because it's clinging. But just take a look. Little specks. Very nice. Matthew Lopez, my friend, you put out a very nice bag of pay dirt, brother. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to get the rest of this cleaned up, and we'll snuffer it up and see what we got. All right, I went back through my tailings, and I recovered a nice bit of very fine flour gold, along with some nice shards. So I believe we are good now. Just check that out. Beautiful. A little bit of black sand left in there. Those bigger chunks want to run. Keep the dog hair out. So there we go. Just check that out. That is a nice pan of gold. Some beautiful metal. You can see that super fine stuff going all the way down around. So yes, indeed. And the rain did not come back and get me, so I'm going to have time to snuffer this up, and we'll take it in and dry it. I'm going to go ahead and fire up the grill because I think that the rain is going to dodge us for the rest of this afternoon, for at least for a couple hours. So man, just look at that. I love that. Thank you so much, Matthew. That was an awesome bag. Again, you can see that super fine, and whenever you can see it that big on the camera, it is tiny because it's like double or triple the size from what the camera's picking up on it there, from what it looks even zoomed in. So all right, happy Independence Day. And we got to do a special acknowledgement for our icon there, our channel's mascot, Make America Great Again, our Lego Trump. I got this a year ago on the 4th of July vial that I got from Carson Prospecting that we did. So that was, it came in pieces in the vial and I put it together. So there'll be a link to that video at the end of this one in the window for recommended. And I'll also put in the first 4th of July, doing the Gold Bay wire gold. I don't think that video even has 50 views on it. So y'all go back and check out that one and give me some views on these early ones. Make me look better there for the early days. But thank you so much, Carson. That has been it's been a great to have him he's been in every video for the rest of the year now. He is. And then we've also got over here our Trump Gnome, Make Your Garden Great Again, from Mr. Doug Odette, and with my flag there on him. So very, very cool. Appreciate that, both you guys. And all right, let's get in and get this done. Well, here we are with some dried up Scottish gold that is just beautiful. Nice variety of sizes and shapes, down to that very small, super fine dust. A nice little chunker there. Just beautiful. And we also have, while we're set out here, another look at our variety of, there's the amethyst that came in this bag. The polished amethyst, very nice. The traditional red garnets, very nice. And then like I said, these unusual colored ones, almost an apricot color, but very, very cool to have. So thank you again for that, Matthew. Let's see, where's our paper? Try to get this. It's slung down there pretty quick. And that fine stuff sticking to the pan. And still leaves, I can see the little frosting. I know whenever I did like that, I had stuff smaller than that would be ingrained in this pan on the Teflon when I did the black diamond and actually nothing flew out there. The black diamond and the kinkies both had some ridiculously small gold in it. So all right, well, the order that I got, the amount I ordered from him was, let's see, there's 1, there's 2, well, 3. Well, I think something's off here because I ordered I thought I ordered the 3 gram from him. I'm gonna have to go back and look it up. I didn't even check because I knew I ordered the 3 gram bag that he had. He had 3, 4, and 5, I believe. Jeez, I'm gonna have to review this. But yeah, there we go. 4.327 grams. And wow, like I said, man, that is a heavy bowl of gold. Just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And he has won a couple of times on the channel. That he was one of my first winners when I first started doing giveaways. In one of the first couple of drawings or giveaways that I did, and then he actually won a couple of times. So very cool. And then he sent me some of his stuff. 4.327 is holdings. So, and then we've also got our awesome latest garnets and polished peridot, those incredible quartz. And then some of these other, like our opal. And there's that one that looks like the Herkimer diamond looking. I mean, a lot prettier than the Herkimeres I had. A lot bigger than the ones I had, for sure. And then, where was that quartz piece that was... There's one that had quartz coming out of it. That's just an awesome looking piece there. Did I leave it in another pan? Again, some nice, beautiful polished amethyst, along with those garnets. But yeah, there was one that had the quartz kind of coming up out of it. Maybe it's that one there. It's just wet. I guess that's what it is, yeah. Now that it's wet, it looks a little different, but it looks like it's got some opal in it for sure. So just awesome. And then our greens, like I said, I'll have to check with him and see what the green is. I'm pretty sure it's either opal or, either emerald or jade. A very happy 4th of July for that pan of some flash and color and a nice bang for the buck for sure. And like I said, even cooler that it comes from overseas in Scotland and the UK, and seems fitting for the and I ordered this well before. I've had this for a while, so he did not throw this in for because I'm getting it on 4th of July. He just happened to put that in for me in this, and it is for basically for the bicentennial. But it's hit it on Independence Day. How fitting is that? So very cool. So all right, well let's let me run some numbers and see if I'm what I ordered and make sure that I'm remembering this right. Okay, I went back and looked at my order for him, and yes, I did order the 4 grams, so I feel better about that. He did not just throw in an extra gram there on top of this, so very cool. So yeah, and I'm not really going to do a price, or I can tell you that it was I got 100% ROI on my purchase, and I'm not sure what he's going to be charging now because it was from back like I said, a few months ago when I got it. But I will definitely leave a link in the description so you can contact him if you're interested in picking up some SPIRE Prospecting Gold Paydirt. And it's some beautiful stuff. And like I said, it's UK. It's very cool. And you can see there are some black specks in there. That is still, I zoomed in on it, it is black gold in there. Whenever you flip it around, you can see it has some color in it shining, so that's why there's some black specks that have stayed in there. That one shows up really good on it, a little cleaner. But so yeah, it was a 4 gram bag. We got over that and had a lot of fun, and it was made for an awesome 4th of July. Alrighty then, that was pretty exciting. Here, jump. The boy was not scared at all of the fireworks. He handled it very well. So like I said, I'm glad I still have him, because I really thought he was gone this morning when I couldn't find him after the first time around the neighborhood. Yes. So yeah, once again, thank you to Matthew Lopez, SPIRE Prospecting, for an awesome bag of Paydirt. Check out the links at the end of the video, like I said, to check the last 2 years of 4th of July on the channel. This is actually the first year I'm not doing it on tonight. This is 4th of July, I'm filming this. I just didn't have time to do it before, and there's no way I can get it edited in and posted for tonight. So it'll probably just go down with be listed on the Friday show here at the end of the week. And we'll go that way with it. I'll I'll probably put out a short or something, a Friday, a 4th of July short with the barbecue or something tonight. But yeah, it's I wanted to do it. Like I said, I hate not having one out on the 4th of July since I've been doing it that way. But this year it just wasn't in the cards, and I really the fireworks just weren't in the budget, so I don't have I didn't go buy my usual whatever $100-something to shoot off in the backyard for the video. But like I said, it was we had a little popping going on. So, and once again, if anybody has an issue with anything I say on this channel, it is what it is. To be clear, I get a lot of my information. Some of my most watched YouTube channels are from black conservative channels. One of the best ones, Greg Foreman, a black conservative perspective. Anthony Brian Logan, ABL, he does his videos and he does live streams. Black and White Sports, AK Nation. All these guys are awesome, and they call out this shit for what it is. And if you're white and you say this stuff, then you get attacked. But make no doubt, you're getting attacked whether you say it or not. So fuck it. I call it like I see it, like they see it, and something that has to be addressed. And the constant assault that this country has been under by a minority of the population since Obama. Non-stop. I mean, the Summer of Love, they burned down, major cities, and were allowed to do it. And now you see the result of that. No criminal charges, no law enforcement, and you give these scumbags, whatever liberals they are, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile, and you just empower them. So, like I said, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. But it's coming to a town near you very soon, especially if you're up north. I'm already with it down here, but fortunately I'm far enough away, and we are very well armed in this town. Anywhere in the south, when you get away from your libtard, pathetic cities where there's normal people, they're armed and ready to protect themselves and stand up for the greatest nation that's ever existed on this earth, which is the United States of America. So do not let anyone diminish your pride in this country and for the awesome accomplishments that it has made over the last 247 years, and hopefully the prospects of another 247 years of even much more greatness beyond anything we can ever imagine. But we've got to be able to live together in a country where you can walk out of your house and not be murdered, where you can go to the store, go get gas, turn on your TV and not be accosted by deviant sexual perverts and delusional people that want you to believe reality of fiction. And Gretchen Whitmer up there in Michigan, they're about to pass a law where it's a felony to misgender someone. So if you don't buy into my delusion, I can charge you with a felony for not calling me a cat or not referring to me as puppy or he or she or whatever, degenerate moniker you want to apply. So again, it's and how fitting is it for the 4th of July that the White House has become the crack house? Imagine Trump being connected to any of the things that Biden has in his family, and the pornographic, drug-using, crackhead Hunter hanging out with his dad, going on Air Force One, going on Air Force Two before he was president. Just on and on and on. The conversation of him saying, I'm sitting here with my dad. Either you deliver the money, or we're going to unleash, all the might of the United States, everyone he knows against you, to a communist, communist Chinese company that they're trying to, shake down. So yeah, Biden has used Hunter nothing more as a fall guy for his criminal, the Hunter, the Biden criminal family. So it is a crime family, and that is what's in charge of this country right now. And that's why you see I went over what was at the White House for the last month, and Americans have to stand up and say enough. And it's not enough just to go and vote. You have to make your voice heard, and you have to, you know, be willing to take a bloody nose over it if it's necessary, because it's not going to go easy. So, my friends, again, we still celebrate the 4th of July and Independence Day of this nation, and in honor of the men who signed that awesome document, the Declaration of Independence. That it's not the 56 men that signed that document. Most of them lived a life of misery, a very short life of misery, losing everything they had, everything they owned, most of their properties, some of their family, their own lives, because they were hunted down, because they were going against the King of England by you know, creating the document that we all live by now. And the sacrifices that they made for this go far beyond signing a paper and declaring an independent nation. They paid for it, and some of them with the highest cost, and that's not known. That's not covered. They don't teach you to appreciate that. So again, we have so much to be thankful for in this nation, and like I said, I was able to sit here today and pull out 4 grams of gold in the safety of my backyard with my pup. I'm gonna have some barbecue, living the American dream, and I defy you to find a nation that you can do that anywhere in the world. So, a very happy Independence Day to you, my friends. 4th of July, and again, I hope you all have a very safe and sane and patriotic 4th of July. And yeah, go smash a can of Bud Light somewhere. Again, that's another great one. They're going down the tubes. Where it's your voice is being heard. So, Gizmo, glad you're still around. Tell the people good night, and till the next time, this is Bayou Gold Guy saying thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoyed it. And till the next time, take care of each other, and peace out, my friends. Oh, and I forgot to turn on my little Juki necklace here that I don't know where this came from. Somebody left it on my gold station in the backyard a month ago. I came home and it was in the package laying there, but it lights up and has all the different little functions on it. So again, I don't know where it came from, but it was cool. So put it on for 4th of July. So, all right. That's it. That one. Got him? That one. Oh. Got him. Oh. Got that one.